folks. So I'm going to keep beating this drum, and I'm going to keep getting shit for it. Zena and I are both aware of the fact that people want to go back to normal. They want to return back to the good old days when you could be near each other and lick doorknobs and, you know, just fuck anyone that walked by, or, you know,
run
whatever.
people over with grocery carts at the grocery store.
Yeah,
real close to one another.
You know, the place in between iron lungs and anti-vaxxers. That really good place there. Yeah, right? Biden says returning to normal, but I still have to wipe after I shit. Right? Biden is making promises his ass can't cash. So, here's why we need to talk. There's an issue. It's this issue. The Delta variant is serious. Here's why it's on the rise. I'm going to read this to you, and I might ask Zena to jump in and help. I'm going to make this bigger for you, Kisses, so you can help.
Mm-hmm.
That's too big.
That's good.
Oh, fuck.
That's irritating. A little more to the right, clicky.
Go away.
Just click off of it. I think we got stopped by a window asking for an email.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna give them the fucking channels one. I can go away. God, I hate these people. By the way, if you'd like to email me questions or things like that, you can just do that. Yeah, thanks for saying that. Fuck off. Okay. You have 3 left articles this month. Wow, you guys are so generous. Right. So this was published on my birthday. Go off, I guess. Go ahead and read that first paragraph, Kisses.
All right. With vaccination rates slowing in the United States and other countries struggling to secure vaccines, public health experts have growing concerns that the so-called Delta coronavirus variant, first identified in India in March, could trigger dramatic rises in cases and deaths in the U.S. and the world.
1 second. I'm going to make this a little bit different of size. There. All right. So the Delta variant already accounts for 18% of the cases in Colorado, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming, and about 6% of the cases nationwide. It has already spread to more than 70 countries and is now the most dominant variant in India, the United Kingdom, and Singapore. Last week, Delta caused more than 90% of the new COVID-19 cases in the UK, leading to a 65% bump in new infections since May 1st. On Monday, to curb Delta spread, the UK government decided to postpone Freedom Day, which would mark the end of the public health restrictions. All right, do the next one?
Yeah. The Delta variant is 60% more transmissible than the Alpha variant, first identified in the UK, which in turn was about 50% more transmissible than the ancestral Wuhan strain. It's a super spreader variant that is worrisome, says Eric Topol, founder and director of the Scripps Research Translational Institute.
Translational, you're right.
Translational Institute. It has features that enable escape from the immune system and is perhaps more evasive than the beta variant, B.1.351, first identified in South Africa, which was the worst until now, says Topol. Quote, plus, it has the highest transmissibility of anything we've seen so far. It's a very bad combination, end quote.
So, let's be very clear. Why is this happening? Well, 1, COVID-19 was allowed to fester for, 18 months? However many months? How long did Trump sit on his fucking hands as people were dying? The problem with the virus is every time it transmits from one person to another, as far as I understand, is there's a small chance of mutation. Most of these mutations tend to be benign. Some of them are not. Delta is literally a mutation of another mutation. And is now the hotbed in India. India, by the way, a place that has, nearly 1 billion or over 1 billion people? I don't remember current count. Which means more and more people are spreading it there. And then the US is being really weirdly stingy with fucking vaccines to those countries. Like Biden had to be convinced to give them some. Let's be 100% clear. COVID is not over. This is not fear-mongering. This is not lying. This is not some sort of attempt to ruin your 4th of July. This is to say that because of the Republican Party and their backing of Donald Trump and his utter failure as a president and, frankly, as a human being, we have been put into a position where a disease that was already basically the bard of diseases, because fuck all knows what it did. Some people it didn't do shit. Some people it did neurological issues. Some people lost smell. Like, it basically just was like, whatever, I'm just going to choose whatever skill on the sheet I like, and I'm going to use that one. I now have proficiency. Fuck off. That thing mutated into the UK strain, and then that one mutated into Delta. Why is Delta variant so scary? Freely circulating viruses, especially coronavirus and influenza viruses, which encode their genetic instructions upon molecular RNA, mutate frequently and randomly due to copying errors included as they replicate in their human host cells. Some mutations enable the virus to evade antibodies, some enhance its ability to infect a cell, others go unnoticed since they yield no benefits or can even weaken it. Do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, the key to Delta's success is the collection of mutations the variant has accumulated in the spike protein, which covers SARS-CoV-2 and gives the virus its signature crown-like appearance. These mutations have changed the spike, and as a result, some of the existing antibodies may not bind as tightly or as often, explains Marcus Hoffman, an infectious disease biologist at the Leibniz Institute for Primate Research in Germany. Hoffman and others have shown that Delta and its closely related Kappa variant evade antibodies that were generated through previous infection and vaccination. Some synthetically produced antibody therapies, like Bamlanivimab something, were unable to neutralize the Delta variant, but others, such as
a word that three words that we can't pronounce, were still effective.
C and I were still effective.
The Delta variant has mutations on its spike protein that alter how it interacts with the ACE2 receptor protein, which is found on the surface of the lungs and other human cells, and is the portal to invade the cell. The mutation at location 452 of the spike protein, which is also present in some Californian variants, appears to make the virus more transmissible and helps it spread throughout the population, explains Mehul Suthar, an immunologist at the Emory Vaccine Center. Yeah, right, David. Some people don't like the vaccine. Fuck those people so hard. Go and read that last one.
All right. If a mutation gives the virus a fitness or reproductive advantage, that mutation tends to evolve independently around the world. Delta, its closely related variants, and the highly contagious Alpha variant all carry a mutation at position 681 of the spike protein, which is thought to be an evolutionary game changer that also makes it easier for SARS-CoV-2 to invade the host cell and spread. This mutation is fast becoming common in COVID-19 viruses around the globe.
Yeah. So essentially what this means is that this is not only real scary. I know that Pfizer recently came out and said that their vaccine's effective against it. I don't know about the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson. Someone might have to put that link in links for stream, and we can look. I'll put it in the description of the video. But the fact of the matter is that in some ways, I don't even know if that so much matters because of the following. WHO urges fully vaccinated people to continue to wear masks as Delta COVID variant spreads. So the key points. The WHO urged fully vaccinated people to continue to wear masks and practice other COVID-19 pandemic safety measures as the highly contagious Delta variant spreads rapidly across the globe. People cannot feel safe just because they had the 2 doses. They still need to protect themselves. WHO official Dr. Mariangela Simao told reporters. Yeah, so this is happening. Althea, maybe. Do you have evidence of that? Because you absolutely should still wear your mask. You absolutely could still spread this to other people. I'm going to trust the WHO, especially over the CDC. Let's be very clear. The World Health Organization on Friday urged fully vaccinated people to continue to wear masks, social distance, and practice other COVID-19 pandemic safety measures as a highly contagious Delta variant spreads rapidly across the globe. People cannot feel safe just because they've had 2 doses. They still need to protect themselves, like she said above. All right, go ahead and read that next one.
Oh. Vaccine alone won't stop community transmissions, Mao added. People need to continue to use masks consistently, be in ventilated places, hand hygiene, the physical distance. There's probably some words in there.
Distance, avoid
physical
crowding.
Distance, avoid crowding. This still continues to be extremely important, even if you're vaccinated and you have a community transmission ongoing.
Yeah. So again, this refers to it. Even if the mRNA vaccines are still effective, the reality is that you cannot stop community transmission with the vaccines alone. I'm sorry. You may be protected, or you might still get it and have very low symptoms, but this is still a fucking problem. The health organization's comments come as some countries, including the United States, have largely done away with masks and pandemic-related restrictions as COVID vaccines have helped drive down the number of new infections and deaths. The number of new infections in the U.S. has held steady over the last weeks at an average of 11,659 new cases per day, according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins University. Still, new infections have been plummeting over the last several months. So, what does this all mean? Well, I'll come back to the same thing we interpreted before. One, the reason why this is still happening is because the Trump administration failed amazingly. Now, as far as other places in the world, that's up to their people. That's up to the way their government handles it. I'm not an isolationist by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't know enough about other countries and their ways of handling this to make a statement one way or the other. But I can say as an American that if you support Trump, you brought this onto us. You voted for a person who is absolutely responsible for the deaths of 600,000 people. When I say that giving money to Trump in the case of Scott Cawthon makes him real questionable because Trump is a monster, I'm not lying. The fact of the matter is that even if you're vaccinated, you can still get this. Vaccinations are not perfect. As Tiamat said in chat, you can have a vaccine or bacterium in your system without falling ill, and it can get back out the same way as if you become ill. Just because you don't feel bad doesn't mean you're not a vector for contagion. So get your vaccines to avoid falling ill and wear your mask to avoid making other people ill. And remember, there are people who have chronic illnesses. There are people who have
Immune compromise,
say due to organ transplants. There are people who have to wear masks for other reasons, such as allergies and stuff like that. Normalizing the use of masks not only includes those disabled individuals, but it also means that we're going to be able to stop or at least slow this down. If your job tells you don't need to wear a mask, still fucking wear one.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're in the service industry, you are at the forefront of having to deal with the public as this stuff is going on.
The Wall Street Journal reported Friday that about half of adults infected in an outbreak of the Delta variant in Israel were fully vaccinated with the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, prompting the government there to reimpose an indoor mask requirement and other measures. Half of all people, it's just saying, they all had Pfizer. I have the Pfizer. Fuck me. Yes, you can reduce some measures in different countries, have different recommendations in that regard, but there still needs to be precaution. Dr. Bruce Alward, a senior advisor to the WHO's Director General, said at the briefing, as we are seeing, there are new variants emerging. These are the only ones we know about. Yeah, right? Like, a moral action shouldn't have to be compelled. Just fucking do it. WHO officials have said the variant, first found in India, but now in at least 92 countries, is the fastest and fittest coronavirus strain yet, and it will pick off the most vulnerable people, especially in places where low COVID vaccination rates. You mean like rural areas and Republican-held states where vaccination rates have slowed down to a crawl? Fuck me. It has the potential to be more lethal because it's more efficient in the way it transmits between humans, and it will eventually find those vulnerable individuals who will become severely ill, have to be hospitalized, and potentially die. Dr. Mike Ryan, executive director of the WHO's Health Emergencies Program, said Monday. Joe Biden called it a serious concern. He warned that Americans who are still unvaccinated are especially at risk. True. 600,000 plus Americans have died. With this Delta variant, you know there's going to be others as well. You know it's going to happen. We need to get young people vaccinated. Biden said Thursday at the community center in Raleigh, North Carolina. So again, this is why I say conservatism is pathology. Fascists live in a worldview that is inherently toxic and goes against reality. Bosch said this on a stream once, and I actually kind of agree with it, is that fascism only works when you're able to use rhetoric to make 2 + 2 = 5. But in war, as he said with his example, 2 + 2 = 5 doesn't work. You have to make 2 + 2 = 4. And in the same way, when you're dealing with something like a virus, no amount of nationalistic strongman rhetoric will protect you from this. Why is it all of the countries that were most horribly affected were in fact authoritarian regimes? The point with this is very, very simple, my friends. I love you and I want you to be safe. I want your family members to be safe. Me and Zena really care about this community. Get fucking vaccinated. Keep wearing your masks.
Make sure your friends and your loved ones keep wearing masks and get vaccinated too. The last thing we want is to find out that somebody in our community is no longer coming because, you know, their health got hurt by all this, right? Or they died. Like, that's the last thing that we want, is to have people just drop off because you know, something happened.
Yeah, Minerva, I would be very clear with them that you still need to wear a mask, and you can show them these articles, and if they tell you to take it off, bring it up with HR, or I start looking for... Oh, no, David, you got the vaccine? Good. But yeah, Minerva, I would argue the fuck out of that on a labor issue.
Absolutely.
I'll put these links and the other ones as well about the Delta strain, if I have any other ones, in the description. Fucking show them this and be like, yeah, no, this is still hazardous. Because the simple fact is that, all the staff wears masks, but guests don't have to anymore.
That's awful. Like,
that's awful, but we can't really control that. That sucks. I mean, we went to Costco the other day, and does anyone else find it weird where, like, people aren't wearing masks anymore?
Everything is just packed as it was before?
I think Tiamat said this above, and I'll kind of end this on this point, because I think me and Zena are 100% agreed on this. I believe the desire to go back to normal is a fair one. People want normalcy. They want to be able to go to sleep and not have to worry about these things. It's not gonna fucking happen. It's just not. I know you want to go back to normal. I know you want things to be better. I know you want us to go back to the days when you're just destroying the planet and, you know, don't giving a fuck, and everyone pretended the flu was just a random thing you got a shot for if you felt like it. But wearing a mask lowered the flu rate. Wearing masks in the areas it did demonstrably showed that it made COVID spread almost nil. Wearing masks normalizes this for people with allergies and people with chemical sensitivities. And again, masks are going to protect people who have compromised immune systems. Do not stop wearing them. Do not let other people you care about go off on this shit. Or if they do and they decide they just don't want to wear one anymore, you might have to make the hard choice of not engaging with them. I'm sorry to say that, but this is a life and death thing. I'm not saying that as fear-mongering. I trust you all to make the decision that's best for you. The fact of the matter is that this is not over, and every attempt that people keep doing to say this is nonsense. That's not how data works. We follow the empirical evidence. The fact is, we love you guys, and we want you to be safe. Please, for the love of God, keep up on hand washing, keep up on mask wearing. Please get vaccinated. If someone in your house can't get vaccinated, please make sure that everyone else is vaccinated to protect that person. Maybe you guys got to take care of them for a while. If you have friends that are out in the wind, make sure they get vaccinated. Bring them in. Honestly, this damage to the economy might cause a lot more people to have to double up and live with a lot more people. The Suburbistan style, like, mega 12,000 fucking square feet homes. Honestly, eventually, with the way things are going between climate change and this shit, I just don't know if that's going to really be a thing anymore. We might have to go back to times where multiple generations live in one house. This is how serious I take this shit. I want you all safe. Take care of your bodies, get enough sleep, wash your hands. We love you, okay? And yeah, with that, we'll end this here. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to ring the bell. And let's be super clear. If you want to donate to the stream, please feel free to donate at streamlabs.com/transgirltherapist /tip. And you can donate as much as you'd like, as low as $1. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/transgirltherapist for as low as $3. So with that said, we love you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay? Bye.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also consider donating to the channel. You can donate at streamlabs.com/transgirltherapist /tip or at patreon.com and become a patron. Patreon.com/transgirltherapist.